Hello, my name is Sebastian from SocialAnxietySolutions.com. I'm a former social anxiety disorder sufferer and a social ease coach. I help people feel at ease socially so they can have a good time, connect with people, be present, and actually enjoy social interactions and look forward to them. Now, today what I'm going to do is, normally I riff on a video, but now I'm actually going to read to you an email that I send out to my email list because I have a very special announcement about something that I'm doing that is very unique, that's never done before ever by anyone. So it's going to be very exciting, and I think you'll like it. Now, I have my earplugs in because the audio is better. My friend Jade is saying, you need to improve your videos. So she's not gonna like this. But hey, this is very much about the content of what I'm gonna share with you. And when you listen to what I'm sharing in this, you're gonna learn a bunch of things as well. So I think you're gonna like it a fair bit. All right, so get ready. This is gonna be me reading on screen. All right, here we go. I was speechless for a while, then confused, then relieved, and then a sense of deep excitement started to grow and increase inside of me. I just experienced a profound shift. I went from despair to empowered in a matter of minutes, and I saw the whole world differently. And soon after this, I made a decision that changed the course of my whole life. What had happened? Well, I just had my first session with my coach, and she, Julia, worked her magic. What she did? Well, it wasn't just tapping, I can tell you that. It was simple, yet very powerful. Anyway, what she actually did is for later. For the sake of this, what I'm sharing today, it's more relevant to know that up until this point, I had been tapping on this stuck issue forever, and I mean very, very long. It just wouldn't shift. I had tapped on this issue from every angle that I could think of. And by then, I already knew a lot about tapping. I had studied the forums, I had asked questions, I read EFT Masters articles, I went over all the EFT DVDs online, I had done 3 live workshops, and I was certified in Gary Craig's EFT basic and advanced level. So in other words, I was no rookie anymore. I had 3 or 4 years of tapping under my belt. And yet, I felt totally lost on how to get rid of my issue. Now, sometimes it seemed that I made some progress, but then when I was in the actual real-world situation, the issue got triggered just as strongly. It was so frustrating, I felt utterly stuck. Big time. I worried that this issue would never shift, that there was something wrong with me, or that my brain was permanently damaged, or that tapping just didn't work for this. And I was kind of right on this, though not quite. But then I met Julia. Here's what happened. I was doing an online Pro EFT Level 3 course with EFT Master Lindsay Kenny. This is about a decade ago now, 10 years. Part of the requirement for certification was to complete a project. Launch a simple website, find a few tapping volunteers in your area of expertise, use the new tapping skills that you've learned, and gather testimonials. Now, I was paired up with 3 other people, and we each had to send each other our qualifications. When I saw Julia's qualifications, I was very impressed. I had never seen such an extensive list. Kind of helped she was already in her mid-60s though at the time. At some point during the project though, Julia offered to do a free session with me, which I jumped on, of course. What happened during that session is what I described earlier, a profound shift. My whole internal map of the world, my belief system, turned upside down. It felt incredibly liberating. And it didn't just feel great, I had a different perspective as well. It was special. And aside from this profound shift, I also realized something. And from that realization, I made a decision that changed everything for me. So what did I come to realize? Well, I figured out that you cannot overcome certain problems on your own, which is common knowledge in therapy and tapping land, by the way. So soon after our session, I decided to reach out to Julia. I wrote her a long letter saying that I was very impressed with her qualifications, that our session had a profound impact on me, and that I felt a click and connection with her. And I said that I didn't have much money, but that I had a big vision that I wanted to realize, and that I was committed to it 100%. She wrote back saying that she also felt a special connection and that she was happy to assist me. I've since worked with Julia on a weekly basis, and I still do, because every area of life can always get better. We've built up a beautiful relationship over the years, which I'm deeply grateful for. Julia has played a major role in my personal transformation. I would not have been able to become socially at ease on my own. Not a chance, and I know that now. And I've also learned why that is. Because for true transformation to happen, acceptance needs to be achieved. Resistance needs to be released. Certain emotional wounds need to be healed. Key limiting beliefs need to be shifted, and disowned parts need to be integrated. And while you can make great progress on your own when you tap in the right way, it's often our deeper issues that our subconscious mind won't let us get to. Why not? Because it perceives that the change we want to make isn't safe or beneficial. And it therefore creates something called blind spots. Say what? Blind spots, a well-known psychological phenomenon. Blind spots are the psychological and energetic patterns that we hold in our subconscious mind but can't see within ourselves. They are the subconscious habitual patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving, as well as the limiting beliefs and emotional memories that we aren't fully aware of ourselves. I'm going to provide examples in tomorrow's email, or in this case video. For now, just know that you have them and that they're in the way of your social ease, and that you can move past them in a way that I'll reveal in just a sec. See, I had lots of blind spots, and on the day that I met Julia, she revealed and collapsed one for me. This helped me finally move beyond years of stuckness in one session. And that's actually nothing that special. It's what a good coach can do. Because to an experienced coach, your subconscious blind spots are obvious. And so a coach can help you uncover and eliminate a blind spot easily and quickly. And this is the reason why I'm writing this email to you. See, last year I launched my social confidence community. We wrapped it up a few weeks ago and it's been a great success. People loved it and they made big transformations, which you'll hear about at some point. And one of the key things that made it such a success were the live coaching webinars that we did. On these live webinars, I would have a one-on-one coaching session like I normally have, but there was one key difference. Everyone with the link to the live webinar could watch me and my client have our coaching session. So community members would click on the link at the scheduled time of the live webinar and they'd immediately join the live webinar and observe our session. Now I say join, but let me be more specific. They would see me and my volunteer on screen, but they didn't actively participate in the webinar. And nobody could see that they were there unless they typed a message to ask a question or give feedback. So anyone entering the live webinar could remain completely anonymous. And so they'd see the volunteering client experience social anxiety on screen, and they watched me help that person release their social anxiety right in front of their very eyes. So cool. They'd hear my volunteer at the start of the session say things like, "I feel super anxious right now. I'm worried about everyone watching me. I'm worried everyone is seeing me anxious and judging me. I'm afraid I'll do this wrong," and so on. They'd see my client have a real social anxiety experience live. And we'd then openly talk about it, which most people have never experienced. For most people, social anxiety is their secret. Can you relate? But now the secret was on the table. The problem was out there in the open, and now we tapped on it together. And my client would start to calm down and soon felt relaxed. People watching the webinar would see me help my client overcome his or her blind spots and see them be released using tapping or some other technique that I use. My volunteers would say things like, "Well, this memory has never come up, but I feel calm right now. It doesn't bother me anymore at all. I feel lighter, happy, very grateful. Thank you so much." And the clients I worked with on these live webinars reported profound transformations. Here's what Amy said after she was the volunteer on a live webinar. "We got rid of my childhood crap last session. I now feel calmer going places. I feel a lot calmer at work. I'm able to respond more appropriately. I feel like I can open up more and actually say what I'm thinking. And my overall mood is a lot better." Now, I've done close to 50 of these webinars and they were a big hit. But the real cool thing of these is that they don't just benefit the people volunteering. People watching and tapping along anonymously benefit too. And not just a bit, massive benefits. I had a ton of comments on the forum, but I only picked a few to illustrate the benefits that you get. There are 6 main benefits people report just from tapping along with the live coaching webinars. Here they are, rapid fire. Benefit 1, you can relate to the person's feelings and emotions, so you feel you're not alone in this battle. Quote, I find such relief in learning that others have the exact same kind of thoughts and behaviors as I do, and that they're not this great private shame or failure of mine. It makes it so much easier to take them less seriously. Benefit number 2, you get to observe people make transformations right in front of your eyes. And this is incredibly motivating and inspiring. Quote, great webinar. Thank you so much, Matea. It was truly amazing to witness you clear that memory just like that, to the point where you couldn't get upset about it at all. Benefit 3. You gain insights into your own issues that you wouldn't be able to uncover on your own. Quote, I loved this webinar and seeing Sarah, who I can relate to on almost every level. It was particularly enlightening to learn that having an attachment to a positive belief can be just as damaging as attachment to a negative belief. I can absolutely see how a fixation to live up to certain positive beliefs about how great I'm supposed to be has wreaked havoc on my ability to just be me. I was kind of aware of it before, but it wouldn't have occurred to me to tap on this, so it feels quite big. Benefit number 4. You'll learn new techniques and strategies that you've never heard of. Quote, that swinging back and forth between I'm shit and I'm amazing is a great technique. Making it absurd really must break the hold of the negative thinking and inner turmoil. Benefit number 5. You actually enjoy the process of transformation. Who said change had to be difficult or hard? Quote, I, like Kate, was cracking up at all the loser statements, which always get me laughing. And surely stepping back and laughing about some of our struggles is fantastic medicine. It's great to see people unlocking parts of their problems and feeling less burdened by them. Now I hear you think, hey, but my issues are unique and different. And you'd be right, but not that different. Even though the root cause of your issues are different from the person on the webinar, how it presents itself is very similar for people. And your subconscious will link what's going on for the volunteer on screen to your issues. And you therefore start releasing your stuff. This is a well-known phenomenon in EFT tapping land. In fact, it's given a name. It's called borrowing benefits. More on this later. Here's another quote from the forum to illustrate this. Quote, as a girl, I also have to say it's a rare and spellbinding treat to spy on a real conversation between two guys. I've always been curious about guys' experience. For some reason, I find it extremely relatable, even though my challenges, of course, aren't the same. And people seem to think I do an all right job as a coach as well, guiding my volunteers to social ease. Quote, another thing that I loved about this webinar was the way Seb responded to your anxiety. I mean, he was so accepting and understanding of your situation, whereas generally people respond with, come on, don't be so shy, speak up, and things of that sort that only make things worse. It's not like telling people to stop being so shy or anxious will actually help with their anxiety. So that was really inspiring for me. It's one of these traits that I look up to in people and also aspire to have, to be accepting and compassionate towards other people's struggles. Oh, and I almost forgot benefit number 6, the most important benefit of them all. Benefit number 6, you actually release your social anxiety issues bit by bit simply by watching a coaching session and tapping along. Quote, I had a massive improvement recently in my social anxiety, and I believe it's most likely down to tapping along to this session. The causes of my social anxiety are very different as expected, but I think this cleared a lot of resistance for me. There's still improvement to be made, but I am so grateful. So this leads me to my exciting invite to you. Drum roll. Access to 4 live coaching webinars. And the replays will also be available and are just as effective to tap along with. These 4 coaching sessions on the live webinars are focused on overcoming the fear of negative judgment, which is, according to a poll I did to all the people on my email list, the #1 social fear. So tapping along with this will be very powerful and transformational. Imagine simply tapping along with me and my volunteer on screen and releasing your issue, all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. Question: what would it be like if you no longer feared negative judgment? Now, why 4 coaching webinars? Because in 4 sessions I will be able to at least make a lot of progress with my volunteer in releasing the fear of judgment. Now, it's also very much possible that her fear will be eliminated completely, and if this happens before the end of the 4th webinar, I'll simply work with the next volunteer on my waiting list. The first live webinar will be this coming Sunday, the 18th of August, 7:30 a.m. California time. Again, if you can't make it live, the replays will be available to you for life. And in the coming 3 weeks after that, there will be 3 more live coaching webinars. Each webinar is roughly 90 minutes. So how much is the investment? Well, my one-on-one coaching sessions on Skype are $250 each, so 4 would be about $1,000. But since I can leverage my work, and because this is the first time I'm offering this, you can get access to all 4 live coaching webinars, plus the replays, which you can keep forever, for only $79. That's a steal. And you know what? I'll offer you a money-back guarantee too. Watch all 4 of them, and if you don't love them, ask for a refund within 30 days of purchase and I'll refund your money. Easy, no hassle. How's that for a great deal? The first webinar is this coming Sunday, 7:30 a.m. California time. And you can register by going to this link, bit.ly, overcome fear of negative judgment. Talk to you soon, Seb. P.S. Regardless of whether you sign up already or not, be sure to check in for tomorrow's email, because here I cover a key ingredient to releasing the fear of negative judgment. Don't miss it. So that's the end of the email. I am super stoked about this. It's going to be very exciting. This is as good as it gets. Simply sign up for this, register for this, tap along with the live webinars or with the replays, and start releasing this issue of fear of negative judgment. All right? Doesn't get much better than this. Link is also under in the description under this video. All right, I'll connect with you very soon. All right, bye-bye for now.